I am Susan, and from Susan Routledge Consultancy and Finishing Touch Health and Beauty Clinic, and I hope you enjoy these videos that we put together.
Susan, I want to find out a bit about you. We've been friends for quite some years now. We've met each other on the awards circuits, haven't we, and at Gino conferences as well. So tell me how you started.
Beauty therapy, it was something that there was never another option. That was what I wanted to do from when I was little. It was like be a beauty therapist and a hairdresser. In fact, I really didn't know when I was little exactly what it meant, but just anyone who came to my house, I used to pin them down, back combing their hair, doing their makeup, no option. And that just carried on throughout the whole of my youth until I went to college, and in the northeast. They'd only started a course the year before. Went in that time you had to do 4 years.
Oh my goodness!
So and as well, I mean, there wasn't really any beauty salons up in the northeast.
So did you do hair and beauty?
Yeah, because you couldn't train in one in. Because I think they thought, well, at least they can be hairdressers.
Yeah, there could be one. Yeah, two options.
There was only sort of Newcastle that had two salons. And apart from that, everything was just hair. But of course, when I left college, first when I was at college, I had the opportunity to go and work at Ragdale Hall.
Nice.
In my holidays, and just fell in love with all the treatments, and that's where I first discovered Gino. So I knew exactly what I wanted to do. And of course, when I first left college, I started straight away, which you would never recommend a business doing hair and beauty, but of course
I was ambitious.
So I did a freelance. I thought I'll just try it freelance. In looking back, I was probably only creating a job for myself because there wasn't any work, and I didn't want to be a hairdresser. But of course, spending all that time at college and then going out supposedly to do beauty treatments, nobody really knew anything apart from having the odd eyebrow wax. Really, I had a hairdressing business.
Did you then go to work in another salon, or did you open your own salon? What happened from there?
What happened, my father was very, very business sort of orientated, and he always said there was never going to be any money in beauty. And when you just I was thinking, I am going to make this work, I really am. And I've worked and got to the point where I was just thinking, this is it, I'll tell him how successful it is, because I was just working ridiculous hours. It got to the point where, I was just about to tell him, and sadly, he suddenly died. But then, I sort of not only had lost my father, but I'd lost the inspiration to do that business. And it wasn't even a business that I wanted to do. So I ended up, I got an allergy to perm solution, and you just think it's just going to, and how mad that I gave my business away.
Oh my goodness.
So then didn't know the value of a database. I had a really good business, gave it away, and then went and worked in a few different places and thought, what have I done? So planned exactly what I was going to do the next time. So started Finishing Touch as a freelance business.
And how long ago was that you started that?
25 years ago.
Oh wow.
And started as a freelance business, but knew that I wanted to have a salon, knew sort of exactly what I wanted to do. In the first business was exactly what not to do in business.
Okay.
And it gave us the grounding for what to do right in business, and I knew exactly sort of what kind of team I wanted to have, how I wanted things to go, and it's just gone from strength to strength. So in 25 years we've expanded 5 times. So I started to say freelance after a year, opened my first salon, and then just gradually expanded, and now we have 11 treatment rooms.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
10.
So who has inspired you? Clearly your father inspired you to be hungry and want to be successful. Who else has inspired you?
I used to look at the top salons and salon. The thing was, because we're just in a little town in Consett, of course I had dreams of I wanted all these great treatments and great products, and because when I went to a bank manager, they were like, oh no. And so it was basically, and every time I had any money, I used to just plough it back in to get everything I wanted, because I was just so determined that it would work in a small town. So I used to just look at sort of like the big organisations and think, wow, you know, I can do that.
And you have, haven't you? You have done that.
And but you know, one person probably who's been a huge inspiration since I can remember, Jill Morris.
Jill Morris
was helped me buy my first portable couch and gave us advice, and then it's just always been a friend all the way through.
Oh, she's a lovely lady.
So, you know, Jill has always been, you know, someone who's always been inspiring to us to sort of...
and you've won awards, haven't you? Tell us about the awards you've won.
Yeah, because at one point I thought, right, I want to have the best salon in the Northeast. So I sort of built it, and then I thought, no, I'll go for a national award.
Why not?
So we won Professional Beauty Salon of the Year 2007. And then last year we won Employer of the Year. And you know, I just love it. It's just such a great industry. And now, you know, I love the fact that we're helping and inspiring other salons.
And that's what you've been doing, isn't it? You're putting a video together. Tell me what you're doing at the moment.
Yeah, but the idea behind the videos is because now I do a lot of consultancy with salon owners, and they just put people on a pedestal, and I probably did exactly the same. Put people on a pedestal and think there's this huge gap from sort of what they're doing to where I've got my business to and where you've got yours to. But at the end of the day, we all just started with one client and a big dream, and sort of, and then just it's like stepping stones all the way. So putting these videos together really is just to I've had the idea for ages and ages, and I just thought it was a great way to like just to show people that
I think it's fantastic.
Everyone is the same.
They are.
You know, and you know the dream that we've all got is to, you know, just to have a great business, and you know, great team, great staff, great, you know.
So what would be your top 3 tips for somebody now with all your experience, and somebody's just starting out, Susan? What would you say to them? What do they need within themselves to actually go for that goal?
Passion.
Yeah, I agree.
Passion. Yeah, I think it'd be very hard to work in our industry, to actually be in it without a passion and a love for people. But I think then what you have to do is be very careful that you don't go down the route of the passion and undercharge for what you do.
Yeah, there has to be a certain level of
and
service.
as well, it has to be like a work-life balance as well, because you know it can get to the point where it just engulfs the whole of your life totally. Other tips would be client retention. You know, when I think to salon owners, a lot of the time they just sit and wait for people to come through the door.
That's never going to happen. Yeah, that's never going to happen.
Any plans in place for how they get people coming back and things. So that's why I've written my little book of client retention. Third thing would be just don't ever give up. You know, I think you just
never stop believing, I think.
Yeah, you know, and you do have knockbacks and you do have little kickbacks and things, but then you just learn from them.
Absolutely.
And sort of it makes everything stronger. And
what a great inspiration you are, Susan. It's just lovely. Thank you so much for sharing that. If you can, I'm sure, inspire many, many people. And we'll see what comes tomorrow, isn't it, in the industry. Thank you, Susan. That's lovely.
Oh, thank you.